This video is sponsored by Raycon.
This is the third installment in the franchise. If they did a fourth, would you come back?
As long as I could die.
So I just saw Ant-Man 3 and I gotta say, more like Ant-Man P. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania? I should be calling it Quantum Lamia. Okay, so this new Marvel movie, I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do anymore, man. I don't want to sound like a Marvel hater, but these movies, they're not getting better. They're just not getting better. The promise of this movie was that it was going to be bigger and better for the Ant-Man series. This movie is the first of Phase 5 and is supposed to set the tone for the upcoming movies. No longer is Ant-Man reduced to his tiny whittle solo movies that have no larger part in the universe. Instead, he's in a more ambitious giant movie with a huge world and a huge story and huge everything, but it's really tiny in the quantum realm. This ambition, this larger than ever before scale, is a task seemingly too big for this movie. It's a promise and scope that is not delivered upon by almost any aspect, because how could it? How could you get a movie of this scale and caliber right if you're pumping it out like a dang McDonald's fast food order? Stuff like this takes time, takes care and effort, and trying to do something of this magnitude in the short time these movies are produced just leaves them feeling empty no matter how many things you cram into it. It's almost like the more wacky and weird these movies get, the less care seems to be put into them. I never was over the moon about the Ant-Man movies, but I enjoyed the first movie. I found the second to be incredibly stale and boring, and I'm not gonna act like the series used to be great because it never really was. No matter how charismatic or lovable Paul Rudd is, it has never felt like the Ant-Man movies truly got to find their own style amongst the rest of the MCU. The only thing it really ever had going for it was that Ant-Man shrinks down and you get to see him be small amongst other big things, and that's fun and goofy, I guess. That is the only parts of the second movie that literally anyone remembers. Tell me who right now was the villain of the second movie. Tell me. Like, you have zero idea who it is, and that's okay, because instead you remember giant Pez dispenser, right? Yeah, and that's fun, that's cute, that's a trailer moment, but remove all these goofy aspects of shrinking and enlarging things. What else does the Ant-Man property hold? Nothing. That's basically what this third movie is all about, because they shrink so insanely small that they reach the quantum realm, and it's basically space. It's a space movie with Ant-Man. Without the gimmicks of other Ant-Man movies, this movie now has to replace it with an actual story and characters. Unlike the first two movies, this movie has an actually really good villain, played by Jonathan Majors. He's the absolute best part of this movie, carrying the entire weight of the runtime on his hunky, beefy shoulders. Dang, God dang, look at those shoulders. What the heck? God, oh my god. But besides his hunky beefy shoulders, this movie is ugly. I don't know if it's Thor 4 ugly, but it is ugly. The mania of the Quantum Mania is too much mania for me. It's abysmal. All these classic Avengers characters are being boiled down into disgusting CGI fest more so than ever. You thought that the people that complained about the CGI was annoying before? Well, it's only gonna get worse, because it's only getting worse. There used to be a time when I embraced the weirdness and wackiness of these Marvel movies. Guardians being the first movie to really be the most different of the entire franchise was at first promising. That is a movie full of heart and passion while still being so goofy at times. But as we've leaned closer and closer into this absurdity, it feels like the movies are just losing sight of what the point of it all is. This movie is weird, it's absurd, it's quirky, it's goofy, it's everything that I would normally love from a movie like this, but without any soul. It's so focused on being so weird that it feels like a very disjointed and terribly thought out movie. No character in this movie has an arc or a story progression that feels of any value. No person acts like they have been acting in all of the other movies that they appeared in. Wasp in this movie does nothing. They got Wasp in the title, but I swear to God, she has 8 lines in the movie and I can't remember a single one that stuck out. They actually just include her in this movie as someone to save Ant-Man's butt whenever he's in trouble and needs to get out of a situation. That's it. That's her entire character. She teleports and appears when Scott is in trouble. Every other second, she might as well just not exist. But you know what does exist? Good earbuds at affordable costs, thanks to this video sponsor, Raycon. Hey you. You got ears, right? Why don't you make them feel good? Why don't you treat them right with some Raycon everyday earbuds? Raycon is a premium audio experience at just half the price as other premium earbuds. They look good, they sound good, and they feel good. I love my Raycon everyday earbuds because I can listen to my favorite song for hours on end while cleaning the house because these bad boys have such a great battery. And not only do these look great and come in a variety of colors, these customizable gel tips feel good in my ear. Raycon earbuds are also very easy to pair with any device. Walk away up to 33 feet away from your device and they'll still sound amazing. Also, these bad boys are sweat and water resistant, like what? You can click my link below or go to buyraycon.com/24frames to get 15% off your entire order. Not only does buying Raycon mean you'll have great earbuds, but also you'll be supporting the channel, which is nice. I appreciate that. So go to buyraycon.com/24frames or click the link in the description. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna start getting into spoiler territory because it's really the only way I could talk about this movie, but you know, here's your warning. Here's your warning. So this movie is about the quantum realm, and in that realm is Kang, the new big baddie of the MCU. He's trapped here and stuff, and that's scary because he's scary, oh no. This entire movie is just to emphasize to us that Kang is him. No, like they actually emphasize that he is him more than anything they've ever emphasized before. At first it was scary and intimidating because like, it kept being like, he's here, he's around here, he's coming for us. But then they kept going on for another 40 minutes where it all starts feeling like a joke. The entire quantum realm is a good idea, but it gets boiled down into just a wacky world for the sake of wacky. There's this tiny group of revolutionaries that live here, and you're supposed to actually care about them even though you see the most stupid, useless group of people that you've ever seen. And I thought the point of them was that they are goofy, they are weird, but then the movie tries to actually make them serious and have you care about one of them dying. Like what? I don't even know their names. I don't know any of their names. And it's funny because if you remove the coating, the outer shell of how these characters look, their wacky designs and stuff and everything, they will just stick out as a faceless generic group that exists to fill time and die. I thought the movie was going to do something fun with them, but they're just forgotten about until the end, and then one of them dies and you're supposed to feel bad, okay? Also, I need to say that this movie has some of the worst performances in the MCU. Bill Murray's in this movie, and this is his worst role ever in his entire career. Even Garfield, he plays the most pointless, useless, boring character that dies in 2 seconds after meeting him. He has a long, drawn-out conversation with the old people of this movie, and it's just 15 minutes of them repeating over and over again that Kang is coming, Kang is here. They just keep ominously talking about him nonstop, and it's so annoying the way that they pause every sentence. I just don't understand the direction here. The entire conversation, it seems like none of the actors wanted to be there. None of them. I was losing my mind. The only one that seems to actually care about being in this movie is Jonathan Majors as Kang. He's actually really good. He outshines everyone around him in every single way. He's almost so good that he does not fit in this movie amongst everyone else. He does a great job portraying this formidable adversary that is supposed to be the most terrifying thing we've ever seen and will continue to see. And then everyone around him just sucks. They just suck. This isn't the worst MCU movie, but it's not good, not even close. It's a very disjointed, overproduced corporate piece of garbage that almost has no real reason to watch, except for Kang if you want to be invested in later MCU movies. As a form of entertainment, as a stupid popcorn flick to waste your time and enjoy on its own, I can't even recommend it like that, because it fails in that aspect. It is not a movie I can find myself going back for any reason to be entertained at any point in my life. It's not a stupid Marvel movie to turn your brain off and just enjoy. It's kind of just annoying. There's never a single element that stuck out besides the new baddie. He's a baddie, he's a baddie, you know he's a baddie, he's a baddie. It's a movie so focused on setting Kang up as a thing that it forgets what franchise it's a part of. The Ant-Man franchise. There are semblances of emotional story beats between Ant-Man and his daughter in this movie, but it feels like a large portion of their dynamic is stripped away and emptied by everything else going on around them. If this movie was able to just find one moment to focus amongst all the noise, amongst all the chaos, and give that one small moment of humanity inside of this movie, then maybe it would have been a lot better. But without that, this is just visual puke without any depth that would give it value to you as a consumer. I love when Marvel tries new things. I love Guardians, I love Loki, I love the weird moments of other movies that stick out and feel special in your mind. But with that kind of chaos, it's good to find a sense of reality and reason. Why is something so weird and so different if not to contrast with the normalcy that you're used to? If all these movies keep going the weird and bigger route, what's the point if these movies never stop and remind themselves Why? Why are we going bigger? Why are we facing a new terrifying threat? Why are we trying to protect these timelines and worlds and galaxies? Who exists in them that is worth protecting? These questions are lost now. Even amongst the bad moments of the old Marvel movies, there were times that just stopped and silenced everything else around them so we could see a glimpse into who these people are as characters. It's important to show why it matters so much that they're fighting. Why do they want to keep fighting? You can talk about how terrifying Kang is so much and how he'll destroy everything, but what if I just don't care about what he's destroying? That's exactly what that revolutionary group in this movie represents. Why do I care about them? You never showed me an actual reason to care about them. Why do I care about Scott Lang and his daughter? Why do I care about the old people in this movie? You never stop and showed me a moment that is worth caring about. How is it that the Guardians movies have the most alien looking cast, but can still feel the most human compared to everything else around it? It's because it stops. It lets you take it all in, and it treats them as people with goddamn feelings. Basically what I'm saying is, this is an empty movie again. I don't think it's worse than Thor Love and Thunder, but it's actually somehow more forgettable. It's so focused on being bigger, but probably should have gotten smaller. That's the irony of Ant-Man, I guess. My only hope with this universe is that Guardians 3 will be great. After that, I don't really care. You can get bigger, you can get meaner, more terrifying, weirder, crazier, more ambitious, but what's the point if you never stop and ask why?